Hey, well, good morning, everybody. I'm back. I am back. Been on vacation, staycation, and I'm back here. Just glad to be back here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's time for morning manna, and this morning, that part. That's right, that part. That's what we're going to talk about this morning. I am extending what I ministered on yesterday. And you already know I got a word for you on this morning. It's been a minute. It's been a minute, man. It's been 6 days since I have been on Morning Manna Live. So it's good to see everybody. Want to greet some folk, and then we're going to get right into the word on this morning. Get right into the word on this morning. What a wonderful morning it is. Good morning, Gloria. How are you on this morning? Diane, how are you on this morning? Good morning to everybody. Hey, I miss being here. I hope you guys miss me. And whether you do or not, it doesn't matter. I'm back now, and I got a word for you on this morning. Good morning, Elder Mobley. How are you on this morning? Ella, how are you on this morning? What a great morning it is. You already know what I'm going to do. The text, the talk, the take away. I can't even hardly get my words together this morning. Brother Nesbitt, how are you this morning? Missed you on yesterday. Jewel, how are you on this morning? Man, you know what? It's been a minute, but I'm glad to be back. I was supposed to be on vacation, did not make it. It ended up being a staycation because we have a timeshare. God blessed us to have a timeshare for years now in Maui. But of course, the tragedy that has happened in Maui, we did not go, of course. So I ended up staying home and doing honeydews. How about that? How about that? Good morning, Francine. How are you? Good morning, Anitra. How are you? Good morning, Dagny. How are you? Good morning, Pamela. How are you? Dr. Moore, how are you? Brenda, how are you? Hey, it's a wonderful morning. You already know what I'm going to do. The text, talk, takeaway, share it right now. Don't wait. Put your comments in the chat area so others can get it. And we'll get the cumulative effect of revelation and share it and spread it about. Good to be back. Let's get right into it this morning. That part. I'm extending what God shared with me and spoke through me on Sunday, and I want to speak more about it right now. That part. It's an expression that we have when we are talking about something, and in the flow of the conversation, one or the other person will say that part. It's that part that is the most meaningful. That part is what brings the revelation. That part is what brings everything together. And there is a word with that part. Here's the text. It's 1 Corinthians 13:12. 1 Corinthians 13:12. For we see in a mirror dimly, but then face to face. Now I know in part. There it is, right there. Now I know in part. Now, if you're a life changer, you already say, well, Bishop, I know what you're about to say. No, you don't. I'm coming with some more revelation. For I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I have been fully known. Let's just take that part and break it down. And I'm going to work through all the parts this week. How about that? That part. Can you put that in the chat area right now? That part. Life can be complex and confusing. The longer you live, seemingly, the more chaotic life can become, and at the same time, more simple. Some parts of life I can figure out because I've had some experience, and then other parts, I'm still trying to work through it. Let's look at it through the lens of a mathematical problem about that part. The first thing you have to do when you are working an algebra math problem is show your work. You got to show your work. James 2:20 says this: faith without works is dead, and I add completely dead. In other words, I'm going to show my work for the part I do know, the part I can figure out. I'm going to show my work. by having faith in the midst of that part, the part that I know. I'm going to hold on to his word with faith. And it has to show my work. I have to show my work. Here's the second thing I want you to grab is this. You know, when you're working a math problem, an algebra problem, there's some parts you don't know. What do you do with that? Trust him in the parts you don't know. Come here, Hebrews 12:1. For faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not yet seen. It's the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not yet seen. I'm working out the algebra complicated problem in my life. I'm going to show my work for what I do know. And for what I don't know, I'm going to trust him in that and have faith. What's the third thing? The third thing is this. You know, story, I'll come back. I will. I really will. In Algebra 2, I was trying my best. I couldn't get it. Miriam Wade, my cousin, set an angle to me. And Miriam, bless her heart, thank God for Miriam, turned her paper just enough for me to see. Well, Miriam is not God, but God says this, I'm going to turn my paper just enough for you to see. Here it is. He says this in James 1:5. He said, if you don't know, ask. If you don't have the wisdom to get through the end of the problem, the complexity, the chaos, the confusion that you're dealing with right now, God says, I'm going to turn my paper just enough so you can see it. If you don't have the wisdom, ask. He'll give it to you freely without judging you for asking you. What's your takeaway this morning? On this morning that I'm glad to be back with Morning Manna. Your takeaway is this. Live each part of your life day by day. Just live each part that you do know day by day. We're going to work through this text this week. The Lord bless you. May his face shine upon you and give you peace. I'll see you tomorrow morning with more Morning Manna. If this bless you, bless somebody else. Don't keep it to yourself. That part. That's right. That part. Hold on to that particular part. God bless you. See you tomorrow morning with more Morning Manna.